Air travelers between Samoa and American Samoa now have a choice of competition coming through the launch this morning of Talofa Airways. Owned by two former employees of Polynesian Airlines that has dominated the market for a long time, the privately owned Talofa Airways promises a faster service with two smart 690B twin commander aircrafts targeting business travelers with a much shorter flying time. The Prime Minister led the guests at this morning's launch at the Fagali'i Airport and were welcomed by Talofa Airways Director Westerlund-Hunter.
O le ata o toia whamanee o taile loto, pe whaangali po I le whati. O pa ia sautua whawha Samoa, a wā o oio le ao mamala. Ma o le ia po I vivia, ai wa uma o na aisa. E le roto fo I le moana sau, ai wa longa fo I ala o ia, ma e le ai se tautai e toi whaangota sa ngole iai. Ai o le upo le tusi, o le wha moe ua taunu, o le la au lea o le soifua. E leo se aso na whaafua veta le nei aso, a le aso na atofa. O le aso fo'i na lupe, ma o le aso na tuupo ina. O tau pa ia, sa mawhai ngā, o le a o le sango le ngole iai, a wae tu mau mai vavau, e o I le wha vavau. E le mawhai fo e sa mātou upu, o na toi whaapopo, pe tō ese. For the sake of our English-speaking guests, our ceremony will be conducted in English. Father Feletti, Father Etewati, church leaders of different denominations, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Members of Cabinet, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, members of the business community, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all here today to witness and celebrate the official launch of Talofa Airways. Thank you for allocating time in your busy schedule to attend our launch. Your presence here has made this day special for us. It has been a long and challenging journey, and today it has finally come to a reality. And to God, we give the honor and glory. For it wasn't for Him, this would not have been possible.
Wow, maya le tapasa le fitu tai malanga. Mai sa e sa o lato fai malanga I tau nu e sa ili po fea o whanawai le ana le fitu. Jeffrey Maria le whao sofianga na whanawai le manatu e whatino le atina o le taimi pa ia le na. The inspiration which inspired you, the two of you, to have set up this. That is the gracious moment, the holy moment in this whole development.
The airline concept started when we moved back home in 1996. My wife and I started weighing options for our family future, whether to move back overseas or stay in Samoa. Our future plans included establishment of a family business relating to our professions, Maria as a pharmacist and myself as an airline pilot. The world's economic downturn after 2001 did not favor our return overseas to establish our family. And it was only natural with the type of business we were planning on to stay home. And so the idea of moving back overseas was taken out of the equation. And so started our plans to gear up for a family business. Knowing the cost and the challenges of starting up an airline, even though the idea of the airline was not a guarantee based on its complexities, we still went on with our plan A, start investing. We opened Maria's Healthcare Pharmacy February 14, 2002, and from then we invested towards the possibility of an airline. I began the process of learning more in aviation, not only flying airplanes, but the complexities and broadness of the airline business, from analyzing the right airplane for the size market we have, the cost of operating airplanes, and managing the airline business in general, from operations, maintenance, commercial, and understanding the laws of aviation that applies domestically and internationally in our part of the world. In the year 2010, when I returned to manage Polynesian Airlines flight operations, we were closer to confirming our decision to start up an airline. Looking for the right airplane and its operating cost was a challenge. Not only it was difficult to get the information to make a clear decision, but when a decision was made that this was the right airplane for the envisaged service mission of the airline. At the end of the study, after taking major factors into consideration, such as the distance between island nations we wanted to service, limitation in regards to runway lengths, the issue of availability of fuel at most airports, and the economic viability of the aircraft, as well as its safety record, 2 aircraft were considered suitable for this task. The Twin Commander 690B model, you can see out there, and the Beechcraft King Air 200 with short fuel capabilities. But certain decisive factors determined my decision to choose the Twin Commander aircraft, and they were in the relation to flexibility and capability in operation and the cost factor. I sought expert advice from the manufacturer in the United States, particularly in relation to the conversion of the Commander aircraft to passenger configuration required for our intended service for our region. The manufacturer directed me to Florida and the expert in this field relating to our mission capability requirements. Putting theory, as it were, into practice, this was achieved by actually going to Florida and test fly the aircraft to ensure it met the performance capabilities for our airline service. After being satisfied, we made the decision to purchase 2 aircraft to allow the passenger configuration to get underway. In line with the vision that my wife and I had from the beginning, I came to the conclusion that I would have to resign from Polynesian Airlines to allow for my time and focus to bring this vision and dream to reality. The significant challenge to me in starting an airline, of course, is the issue of economics and finances of the airline. And so I needed some expertise in this area. It was about this time when I faced this challenge that the news of the resignation of my former CEO colleague Taua was announced. As a result of his availability, naturally, his skill in this area was an obvious option for my wife and I to consider asking him to come on board. After due consultation and discussing the airline business plan, Taua's comment was, "Why didn't you tell me this before we were in Polynesian Airlines?" The only response I could come up with was, "Well, you give some and you keep some." After a few laughs, he accepted and became a partner in this venture. With Taua on board, we commenced the significant challenge of aviation legal requirements to achieve the certification of the airline. This involved the complex and time-consuming a period of 18 months in achieving certification locally and by foreign aviation authorities. The major challenges we faced in our experience throughout this process could only be overcome by total commitment and focus, in a way, a tunnel vision approach, neither looking back nor sideways to achieve our goal. The considerable cost of hiring another pilot to transport the aircraft to Samoa was avoided by taking up the challenge of flying the two aircraft myself from Florida to Samoa. This challenge to fly the two aircraft to Samoa totaling 15,000 miles became also an opportunity to train and initially gain the required flying experience, and in turn being able to train other pilots in due course for the airline. The successful transportation of the two aircraft to Samoa was achieved with the first aircraft I had flown from Florida to Samoa via Hawaii and Christmas Island in February, and the second aircraft via Hawaii direct to Samoa in March this year. Having two aircraft here in Samoa was a requirement to complete the local certification as a step to achieving international approvals to permit the airline to operate to our foreign destinations. In achieving all this, it was then a matter of waiting for overseas permits, which we gained in beginning of July, which concludes a very difficult and marathon process to now allow us to launch and to operate Talofa Airways. In determining the name of the airline, my wife and I felt after different names, we decided on the word Talofa, which is our unique Samoan greeting, which carries the identity of our island nation of Samoa, and in turn a marketable word in web use in the airline business. As an airline pilot of 20 years experience flying in the Pacific region, I became aware of the need for a more economical airline service that's sustainable and will be to the benefit of the traveling public, and particularly the isolated communities in the Pacific region. This was one of the major motivations to establish Talofa Airways. You may wonder the size of the airplane we are proposing to use for our regional service, but because of the need for sustainability, for this time, we believe we have made the right choice of aircraft into the immediate future. So therefore, at this stage of the current air service within our region, size does not matter. We would like to acknowledge and give thanks to God for our journey so far, where we now stand before you to launch Talofa Airways. We wish to acknowledge and express our gratitude to our Prime Minister, for his support and presence today and his agreement to give the keynote address for this launch. We want to acknowledge everyone here for your support and presence to witness this new beginning of Talofa Airways. We want to acknowledge and say thank you to our Civil Aviation Authority and related government authorities, including our Foreign Aviation Authority counterparts, for their help and assistance in bringing Talofa Airways into reality. This long process would not have eventuated without the hard work and commitment of our key staff. Taua Fatielu, our finance controller, Sosefo Tatola from Tonga, and also our engineer, Mike Wilkins, a pilot, and also our quality assurance, and the rest of Talofa Airways employees, office, ground staff, and pilots. The success of this airline is very much dependent on your commitment, performance, and loyalty. I want to say that this airline would not have been possible without the support and belief in us, in our vision, by the Samoa Commercial Bank Chief Executive Lemalure Aliki and his board. Lastly, I want to publicly thank my wife and our families for their love and support. We look forward to providing excellent service to our people of Samoa and to the international traveling public within our region.
We are here to celebrate the beginning of an exciting venture established by three brave Samoans who, in naming the airline, are sending out a very powerful message that Talofa Airways services will be welcoming, relaxing, and quality services oriented. I believe that the twin commander aircraft Flight time to American Samoa will be 20 minutes from this airport. Swift travel in comfort. Public and government expectations are that inter-island travel will be more efficient now given the increase in the frequency of flights between Samoa and American Samoa. I would also expect lesser complaints about the availability of airline seats from the traveling public, with an additional 18 seats added today by Talofa Airways. We congratulate Talofa Jeffrey and Marie Hunter, as well as its CEO, Taua Fatu, for believing in their vision and for their perseverance. I am confident that improved access will enhance opportunities for our people and tourists that wish to experience the two Samoas and celebrate marked days in their lives twice, whether it be a birthday or a wedding or divorce anniversary. We are indeed proud of our people's achievements and sustainable development that deliver ongoing trading benefits to all. May God continue to bless you in all your development efforts and greet everyone by offering you a warm talofa. Soifua Emmanuel.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. I would like now, as a token of our appreciation, I would like to present this picture to you. I actually took this photo. I took this photo from inside our airplane as we were doing one of our test flights, just minutes after takeoff. This image has a lot of encouragement and has kept us going, no matter the obstacles we face each day. To my husband and I, it is a sign that God is in control in everything we do if we put our trust in Him.
On behalf of Amalu and myself, I would like to say before we cut this ribbon, we give our thanks, honor and glory to God for this new beginning of a new airline, Talofa Airways. We wish all the very best to management and staff for a successful and prosperous future. May God bless us all and Talofa Airways. Last but not least, we would congratulate our children, Jeffrey and Maria, our human Tawa, for their good management, the staff, all the very best in the future. If family tele tuela sa umma olela lumalai, soifua.
Talofa Airways will be launched in American Samoa tomorrow, with scheduled flights to commence between Samoa and American Samoa Tuesday 30th of August 2016.